What is going on, people? Hey, so I come to you today in front of my baby spicy candy. Left this open. So check it out, people. Hey, so what we're gonna do today is I'm about to jump on this bike, and you and I are gonna talk about the beginnings, the middles, the drama of King of the Baggers. Things you may know, new things for 2024, things that you may not know that has happened in the past that just makes it a little bit more interesting. So without further ado, I hate fucking that I say that. I'm gonna stop saying that. So without making you guys wait even longer, let's jump on the bike, let's get in the helmet, and let's go for a ride, and let's talk 2024 season of King of the Baggers. What is going on? All right, hey, so we're back on the bike. You know, I'm running up actually to Indian Motorcycle of St. Paul, my home dealership here in Minnesota. It is balmy, 41 degrees. It is February like 21st, I believe it is. Daytona is right around the corner, baby. And one thing about Daytona, which I'll be flying there from the 6th to the 10th, and I'll be able to do King of the Baggers. That's why I'm here. I'm also going to do a couple IMRG rides, one to the racetrack at Daytona Speedway, and the other one to lunch. I don't know, I can't remember. It's on the Saturday the 9th, I think. But speaking of Daytona, let's talk about King of the Baggers. Now, let's see, I think this is the start of season 4. Yes, the start of season 4, and shit, I got my King of the Bagger right here, baby, spicy candy. What do you call it? Counting, so season 4, counting the first race that wasn't really even a race. Matter of fact, it was only a race when Tyler O'Hara was going so fast he lost some of his, I think, his rear brake, and ended up going into the sand. And he was so far in first, goes into the sand, comes out, I think he comes out in 3rd, if I remember right behind Frankie Garcia. And then if I remember right, it might have been Gilman that was in 1st. I don't know, let me just show you guys a little clip of that if you haven't seen it yet.
Been a big day and exciting as can be. Everybody seems to be chasing the Indian of Tyler O'Hara. The fastest in qualifying and the fastest in morning warm-up. That's Indian Challenger. There's no question he's going to be the one to beat.
We came here and a lot of those unexpecteds were thrown right out the window because this Indian Challenger handles like a road racing machine. So things have gone extremely well. We definitely have the best motorcycle out here.
This is our leader, Tyler O'Hara, off the track, and he's dropped back to what, 3rd now? He picks it back. Now we got a race. Was that smoke? Was that fluid? Something's happened. Look at the bike back in 3rd in this picture. Sylvester isn't fast enough because Tyler O'Hara is all up in his business, and he's going to drag race up that hill, and Gilliam's going to be able to hold him off. But now what do you do as you head into the most famous portion of this track? Freewheeling coming into some of those turns. Can he do the slingshot? There it is. Going into the corkscrew.
Wow. Frankie Garcia on the rolling sands. Indian in 3rd. Hayden Gillum, Vance and Hines. Here comes the foot drag. Roger Lee. We are about to witness history as the first checkered flag ever in Moto America history goes to the Indian of Tyler O'Hara. Here comes that rolling sands Indian Challenger down the front straight. Frankie Garcia's got to be awful excited.
It's wild to have hard work out there.
Yeah, so you saw that, like, it's so crazy. I remember seeing an interview and I couldn't find it for this video. I couldn't find it for this video, but I remember they said their biggest concern was lap traffic, lapping people that day. The Indian Challenger was just another, here, I'm gonna put this up so we can help with some wind noise, was just another beast, which, by the way, in my opinion, it still is another beast compared to some of these other bikes. But they, yeah, it was, that was season 1, or not even season 1. That was like the kickoff of this whole thing. Harley Davidson versus Indian Motorcycle, and it was such a popular event. It got like 100,000s of views. I don't even know. Sorry, it's spring here, so people don't look out for motorcycles yet. But I want to talk about drama. I want to talk about like things that people don't understand. You know, in the NFL, in the basketball season, in Major League Baseball and hockey, one of the craziest things are the signs and the trades, you know, people that opt out of contracts and switch teams, and that's a really fun part of professional sports. But you know what? It's the same thing in racing. So that first year, Vance and Hines ended up getting second. Gilman, I believe it was Gilman, but Vance and Hines got second that year. The year of kickoff when O'Hara just like mollywopped everybody. And Frankie Garcia got third, also on an Indian Challenger. If I remember right, it was like 2 versus 9. It was like 9 Harleys versus 2 Indians. So it was pretty freaking interesting. And yeah, so Vance and Hines, like that bike was no joke. If it was a street glide, an orange street glide. I kind of visualize it here. But yeah, it was an orange street glide. Harley Davidson helped Vance and Hines that season. That's the rumor, that they helped quite a bit. It was like a collab to make that bike and do that. So come season 1, the first season, the actual series of races, I can't remember, maybe 6 races or something like that, or 4 races or something. Harley Davidson said, you know, the rumor is they kind of gave Vance and Hines this big finger, and they're like, you know, hey, we're moving on, we're doing our own thing, and they came out swinging. The amount of movement that the Indian Challenger, Tyler O'Hara, and the SNS team, they just mollywopped them so bad that Harley Davidson's not going to take that. You're not going to just, like, you know, get slapped in the face and let them walk out with your girl, you know? So the rumor has it that they went to Vance and Hines and they were like, nah, we're on our own, you know? Like, thank you for taking us to the dance, but we're leaving. We're going to try to get the queen, get the prom queen over here. So I'm just spinning in all these gears. So they dipped out on Vance and Hines, and it started, I don't want to call it a rivalry because I don't really know. And they came out, and you know what? It was pretty competitive. I can't remember the exact like points or anything like that, but Indian Motorcycle, they re-signed Tyler O'Hara that year, and I think they ran 1 most of the time, and they ended up adding, who did they add? They added Jeremy McWilliams, I believe, and then the Roland Sands had their team season 1. Anyway, Kyle Wyman from the Harley Davidson factory, they they won. I think it was kind of close actually, but they won. And so season 1, Kyle Wyman wins the King of the Bagger Championship, takes it to everybody. It was pretty awesome to watch and see. Well, that made Indian Motorcycle Season 2 up their game. And if I remember right, in the mix of Season 1, they signed, Harley Davidson signed Travis Wyman, Kyle Wyman, is it Travis? Yeah, I think it's Travis Wyman, Kyle Wyman's brother, to be a part of the team. So there's a bunch of team racing, a little bit of, you know, blocking and the racing kind of fun stuff. So they go out and they win, and they have Travis Wyman, they got Kyle Wyman, they got the brothers, like all this cool stuff.
What we know we have, which is the best motorcycle in the world in the Harley Davidson Road Glide.
Trying to make it 2 wins on the season. The 33 of Wyman will get out to our early lead. Wyman putting some distance between himself and the field. This is really shocking, like you mentioned.
First 2/3 of the lap, we already had a second. It's like, okay, so that was a clean lap, fast lap. Let me put in one more heater and see where we're at, because I expected a fight today. I expected to have Tyler and Barney and Travis right there.
Man, this Harley Davidson Screaming Eagle team must have found something from qualifying to now.
At that moment, I just tried to enjoy the racetrack, the corkscrew and coming over that crest and down Rainy and just some of the most fun areas of this whole track. And coming by, looking at the board and seeing the guys, you know, knowing that they're feeling really the same way that I am, where it's like, man, okay, 3 to go, 2 to go, 1 to go. Like, are we gonna get this done? Are we actually gonna get this done? And this last lap coming down Rainy, it was like, yeah, this is what we've been all working for. And coming out of that last corner and seeing the whole crew cheering, and it's the best feeling in the world.
The checkered flag awaits, and Kyle Wyman will win the race here. And be your national champion. What a way to do it. National champion Kyle Wyman.
Kyle finishing first and winning that championship for Harley-Davidson, it's been a long time. I mean, nobody gets that #1 unless they earn it. It's very important to Harley-Davidson, very important to the motor company to win that championship. It was created in 1969 to celebrate the AMA Grand National Championship of Mert Lawwell, and it represents a national champion. And we have a national champion again at Harley-Davidson.
So season 2 comes out, Indian Motorcycle's like, we're ready to dance, we're bringing it, we're getting after it. Season 2 also happens to be when like Bad Monkey joined, did they? Yeah, they joined Indian Motorcycle. They got off of a Harley for season 1, got on an Indian Challenger season 2, and then they ended up, Tyler O'Hara ended up winning the championship back that year with, if I remember right, an exciting win in New Jersey in the rain, and Travis Weinman could have won, but he ended up wrecking, and just like craziness.
In championships, you're fighting for points, and every point you can get, and Tyler O'Hara's our lead rider in terms of points. So we come into this round just a couple points behind in the championship, and honestly, none of that matters, because whoever wins between Tyler O'Hara and Travis Wyman wins the championship. The New Jersey track is really technical. It's got a lot of left-rights, it's got a lot of corners that really want to upset the bike. Unusual, we don't test as much at each track as some of our competitors, and we play a little bit of catch-up on the weekend, and that's okay.
King of the baggers for the national championship. Does the #1 plate stay with Kyle Wyman? Is it going to move to Travis Wyman or Tyler O'Hara? It's time to get racing. Clutches are out, here we go. Wheels are spinning on the line. Who's going to get to turn #1 first?
Wow, Travis Wyman got a bad start. I saw James Rispoli got a decent start. Tyler O'Hara. It is Tyler O'Hara. He's doing a great job there against himself. And you see Travis. It looked like Travis Wyman was trying to go around the outside of McWilliams in this big long right turn 10. Let's see if he makes that. Still have another 6+ laps to try to sort this whole thing out. Travis Wyman, in the meantime, has got probably a little bit more pressure on himself, only because he's got to try to bridge this gap.
You can see these a little bit more confidence going into those corners and trying to carry more corner speed.
Oh, there goes Travis. Travis just fell down out of this race right now, and that pit board for that factory Indian team is going to say that Travis Wyman is out.
War goes to Tyler O'Hara with his left bag wide open.
It's good to be king.
Man, I feel wonderful. I feel great. I feel like this is a long time coming. It feels great to hold my end of the bargain and get the job done. And everybody that supports me, this one's for everybody that's helped me along the way. I feel amazing. I'm gonna go put a #1 plate on my Challenger at home, and I'm gonna drive around and enjoy it and embrace it, because it's been a long road, and it's a win for my whole family and my whole support system and my team and everybody, and just, it's amazing, and I can't wait to get home and celebrate with them and enjoy this, and you know, my kids.
I forgot to talk about this. So season 2, Saddlemen teamed up with Lloyd's Garage, and they brought their own Indian Challenger in the group, and they were working really well. I mean, it was all right or whatever. But so then season 3, after season 2, season 3, Harley Davidson comes and they just pull the rug out. And I don't know, obviously, I don't know what they offered Saddlemen, but Saddlemen went crazy. They roll out season 3 with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 new racers, or race bikes, all Harley Davidson. And they also were running some of the Pan Americas. I'm not really talking about the Hooligan series, it's just King of the Baggers. But it's just interesting to see Saddlemen, where one year they ran a Harley, maybe it's season 1, they ran a Harley, and then they brought Patricia Fernandez running the Challenger. Then the second year, they teamed up with Lloyd's Garage, and they ran just Challengers. And then season 3, they flipped to Harley Davidson, and they bring Patricia Fernandez, Corey West. They end up snagging Jake Lewis, that was riding Superbikes at the time, I believe. And then they brought in Frankie Garcia. Man, Frankie Garcia, listen, that guy, he was an OG Indian Challenger rider, getting 3rd place in the kickoff race, and he had kind of bounced around between Roland Sands, and he did a little bit on the Mad Monkey team, and, you know, whatever. So to see him riding a Harley felt, you know, like it was a little tough as a fan, and seeing Patricia and Corey West jump over to Harley Davidson, it was just like, come on. So that was a big move by Harley to add the Saddlemen in their big team. In the meantime, Vance and Hines is just getting better and better, and they had James Rispoli and Hayden Gillum, and they're just doing their thing. They weren't really doing like great things season 2, but they were there. They were chomping at it and everything good. Mad Monkey was there, kind of like learning the ropes. You know, the Mad Monkey team, if you follow along with the channel, I'm actually really personal friends with those guys, Brandon and the whole team. And they worked with Revolution Performance, and yeah, it was just fun. I worked with them. They allowed me to be a part of their team for a weekend or for a race series. It was pretty awesome. I hung out with Frankie Garcia and all that good stuff. So then, sorry, I'm just like looking at this truck with the door wide open, wondering if I need to be dodging anything. And so when season 4 or into season 3 last year, Saddlemen had their team. Everything's going. Or season 2. So season 3, Saddlemen has their team. So Vance and Hines comes out swinging. They got James Rispoli and Hayden Gillum, and they're just fucking killing it. They're whooping it. Indian Motorcycle is just struggling. I mean, if it's not the tires ripping apart due to the high speeds in Daytona, or just, honestly, I think O'Hara and Travis Wyman were going at each other so hard that they both wrecked, or one of them wrecked multiple times. And so they just were going crazy, and the Vance and Hines team, they were just solid, and they were just winning races, and they were good. And don't get me wrong, Wyman, he might have been the best racer, fastest racer out of everybody for season 3. I mean, he was molly-whopping fools. When he could stay on 2 wheels, he was killing it. I mean, Harley Davidson factory team looks like they were on another level. So that was really interesting to watch, but Vance and Hines were good, and they didn't mess up, and they didn't break down, and there was a lot of times where the bar and shield broke down, or they wrecked, or whatever, had like disqualifications. I believe it was season 3. I'm going all this off at the top of my head, but the crazy thing was, at the end of season 3, you got Vance and Hines, a privateer, win the championship, where Hayden Gillum, he wins the championship. It kind of gives the big fuck you back to Harley Davidson. I don't know the Vance and Hines owner.
but I'm so sure that he was just on another level of excitement to be able to go back to Harley and be like, gotcha, suckers!
Weather down in Daytona Beach, but Jason, Mission King of the Baggers, well, they came to Daytona for the first time last year, and things are a lot different. Bikes are a lot faster.
And when you look at these two manufacturers talking about Harley-Davidson and Indian, the rivalry there is almost as heated, if not more, than I've ever seen between two riders even. So
all eyes on the 33 of Kyle Wyman, starting from pole position.
James Rispoli almost gets thrown off the bike coming out of turn 6.
Kyle Wyman's bike is smoking. Tyler O'Hara, where's he going? Is he going to get a turn? He goes a little wide. Side by side they go. But now the number 1 plate going sideways and he's down. He pushes too hard and Kyle goes down too. Wow! Those two riders pushing as hard, that is it. And how about that on the final lap? The checkered flag flies for Hayden Gillum. Kyle's got it turned, he makes it through this time. And the run to the checkered flag, and Rispoli shakes his head. It's going to be Kyle Wyman with a big victory over Rispoli and Hayden Gillum.
And yeah, also to end this season, my people and Mad Monkey and Matt's Flinders, they podiumed for the first time. They took 3rd, and so season 4. Let's talk season 4. By the way, I'm super proud of all those guys, but to see these privateers, you know, and we got like Bobby Fong in season 3 and season 2. He's like the Dash for Cash master. He always wins Dash for Cash. He's so fast. So season 4, what's going on season 4? Holy crap. Okay, this is now, things are getting crazy. So we talked about Travis Wyman, Kyle Wyman's brother. He now is no longer a part of the Bar and Shield. He's no longer part of the factory team. That man, he bounces off to the Saddlemen team. So it's like Saddlemen, they're re-upping. They drop down to 3 bikes instead of 4. And so I think it's just more like, it's just, I can only imagine how hard it is to work on 4 bikes, you know? The mechanics, the techs, all this stuff's happening. So they're going to drop down to 3. Max Flinders is coming back to Mad Monkey, and he's doing his thing. Bobby Fong, I talked about him a little bit ago. He's riding, I believe it's Roland Sands' bike again, so he's out there. And so Kyle Unswick, I think is how you say his last name, I can't remember. But he raced for Roland Sands last year. He's now racing with Tim Sutherland and the Ride Fast racing team on an Indian Challenger. So he's jumping teams. On the Harley-Davidson side, I already said Saddlemen got Travis Wyman. So you're asking, well then who is on Harley-Davidson? Well, Kyle Wyman, he's fast as boy, and he's back, of course. But you gotta have 2. You gotta have a blocker, or you gotta have that other guy. You know what they did? They went to Vance Hines again, and they took James Rispoli. I'm just like, what is happening? So James Rispoli that had been Vance and Hines, he was second in points, I believe, last year. They took him, so he's riding with Kyle Wyman. It was like James Rispoli is one of my favorite personalities in the King of the Baggers series. I actually haven't really met him, but once I think, and it was very minimal. But just his interviews and his personality seems like it's just pretty genuine and a lot like mine, and messing around and all the good stuff. So
Yo, Kyle, what up?
Where you at?
Traffic's insane.
Well, the bikes are ready, so you better hurry up.
Copy that, big dog. What's up, dude?
Yo. You just hanging out in the dark or what?
Gentlemen.
So, you guys ready?
Let's go.
it's going to be exciting to see him. He's going to get a lot of TV time, I'm sure. He's already a fast rider. They're putting him on. That team is going to be incredible. So then you ask, well, if that's the case, what's going on with Vance and Hines? Crap. I can't remember the dude's name. Well, Hayden Gillum is returning. He is the champion. He is the king of the bagger. He is the returning, the #1 plate. There's no denying any of that. And they teamed him up. I think his name is Roscoe. Roscoe? What the hell? I'll put it here and I'll correct this. But he's a 19-year-old young man. I mean, until this moment, everybody in King of the Baggers, other than like Max, they've always been considered like older racers, you know? Patricia Fernandez is not old by any means either, but for the most part, it's always older racers. Supermoto, flat trackers, racers. But yeah, so this kid, he's coming out. He's going to be part of Vance and Hines with Hayden Gillum. I'm so excited to see what they freaking do as that team. Just getting some young blood. I really question if having now a big push of younger riders. Max Linder's a younger rider. He's a younger rider. Will that grow it? Like, I'm going to have to ask these guys. Because before it was always like, oh, the baggers, they're not real racing. They're not real like. And then everybody that rides the baggers like, holy shit, dude, these are racing. You know, I believe it was Roscoe. But I believe he said that riding a big supermoto bike on a small track is what it feels like to ride a King of the Bagger bike on every track, you know? So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it might grow more fans. Not just fans, but actually riders that might be interested. I've heard multiple interviews with riders say there's money to be made for the rider in these series. Harley-Davidson and Indian Motorcycle have done a really good job putting I think it's called contingency money, bringing money to the table for privateers and people racing their brands. And if you win, you can really win some money. So, and I don't know how easy that is, you know, in the Superbikes and the Twin Cups and all this. So some of these really, really great racers that are racing Superbikes and everything else, maybe they're more interested now coming to the Bagger Series, which will just grow the popularity more. For the first time, the King of the Baggers is going to be racing in April with the what is it called? GP Series? Like the road racing mecca of the world, the GP Series in Austin, Texas, I think it is. And that's going to bring a lot more, you know, to the series, I really believe. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I was listening to an interview with the fueling rider, and he said that they're getting longevity of like 500 miles out of these motors. That is crazy, because in season 1, like half of the squads wouldn't even make it the 16 miles around the track. So if they're really getting like 500 miles, it goes to show you that lowering the RPMs a little bit really did help the series. But yeah, just, you know, it's going to be fun. The drama is going to be fun. Now I got to talk about the S&S Indian Motorcycle. Tyler O'Hara is coming back. O'Hara, whatever, however you say it. I always say it wrong. O'Hara. I think it's O'Hara. I don't know. Anyway, that guy's a pretty cool dude. I met him a few times, obviously at Indian events and stuff, but not obviously. Because I've been at the races, I met him a few times, but he's a pretty cool dude. But Indian Motorcycle is not going to let shit just slip away. And I don't know what happened to Jeremy McWilliams. I don't know, to be honest with you. But I do know that they signed a new rider, Kurt Voss, from Australia. He's like a 3-time Superbike champion in the Australian series, including just last season, he won it. So he's still in really good shape, at the top of his game. And to just see that, by the way, I'm a big Jamie McWilliams fan. I've been able to hear interviews and listen to him talk to people. His knowledge of two wheels is incredible. That was always very interesting for me to hear and me to see that part. So it's kind of bummed that he doesn't have a ride, but you know, I don't really know the racing, but this sounds very natural. Racers are looking for rides. My boy Frankie Garcia, I don't think has a ride yet. So if you have an Indian Challenger, if you're one of the 29 people that bought the race ready Indian Challengers, throw Frankie on it, throw these guys on it. I mean, let's do it, you know? I don't know. It's pretty exciting times. I'm so pumped for Daytona. I'm going to be there at the races this year, and I'm going to try to make as many other ones that I can. Yeah, and other than that, if not, I'll be watching on Motor America Live. Yeah, I'm a member of that for the next couple years, probably. I don't know. If you've made it this far in the video, I got to ask you guys, what is your favorite thing about King of the Baggers? Do you have a favorite thing? Do you watch all of it? Do you follow the drama? You know, I mean, the fact that Travis Wyman, the brother of Kyle Wyman, had switched teams, and then Vance and Hines lost one of their racers, and I mean, you can't ever blame a racer. They're just looking for a ride. These guys are doing this for the passion of racing. I'll be honest with you. Frankie Garcia rode a Harley-Davidson last season. You probably don't even give a shit about the brand. These guys just want to race. These are what we call, well, they're called racers. In the regular street world, like I call myself, a motorcyclist. I love all motorcycles. I do ride an Indian motorcycle. I do believe they're the best motorcycles being made out of the box. And if you fucking want to talk about the new 24 road glides, you want to start comparing them, I'm down, is all I'm saying. Do I like what Harley did? This is a tangent, but do I like what Harley Davidson is doing? Yes. Do I think that out of the box, standard versus standard, or mid bike versus mid bike, do I think that Indian is getting surpassed by Harley? No, I do not. I'll make a video if you want to see it. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what's going on. Give me your predictions, boys and girls. And until next time, ride hard, ride fast.